So this is from a student, so we're demoing it here so that everyone can kind of learn and benefit from this one. So the eventual goal is to basically have it kind of running similar to this. I'm going to add a knee up vector, of course, but um, get the rig, simple rig with a bendy bone arm, okay, and figure out a way to not have those influence in there and whatnot. Okay, so let's open the file and then let's kind of get everything situated. I just noticed right here that those things are not together, so that's why there's that issue. So we'll try and fix all of those. All right, so let me reopen the file. Okay, so first things first, let's get rid of the extra items here, camera and lights, and we just have this. And we take a look in a wireframe mode and an X-ray mode. There's a lot of intersecting geometry right there, which could potentially lead to issues later on where they could stick out based on how you paint weight it. So we're going to have to do some sort of kind of maintenance on this one and then get rid of any excess geometry first and fix some topology as well. As you can see, there's another version that Steven sent here where he's got loop cuts here already, so that's not the issue, but let's add those two. All right, so let's take a look at the leg first right here. So I'm going to tap in the / there to isolate those. Let's take a look what we can do here to kind of clean it up. So it is one object right now through joining, but it is separate geometry right here. So if I select all this, and as you can see, if I move this one, it's a different geometry. So I'm going to try and get all that geometry coming from this shoe right here. Okay, so or you can combine it. It's just later on. That's another way paint kind of scenario where it's not going to be pretty. Okay, so I'm going to select the bottom points first for that. Let's see here. See if I can grab them. There you go. I'm going to lift it up. So I'm going to try and kind of join it right here using the geometry in here. Okay. So let's take a look here what I can grab. It looks like those for sure. All right. So we could probably move those up a little bit. Doesn't have to show all the way down to the sock right there. And this itself could be the leg right here. All right, so I'm just going to extrude this. All right, I'm going to press E to extrude it, Z axis to go up. Let me see, GZ. There it is. Okay, just kind of match that. Okay, and then on this one right here, I'm going to select all those, press X, and then faces to delete it. All right, so let's take a look what issues might have been pulled right here. Probably the normals. Okay, so let's take a look here and then let's recalculate the normals for the outside, or even maybe flip them. Let's see. Maybe it's not the normals. Which one did I grab that turned like this? So let me click and do. Let me make sure that that's the right one that was selected. Okay, so right here was this just moved up. So if I press E, then extrude. All right, okay, so I did not press extrude the last time. So it was just dragging those all the way up. So up to here, okay? And close enough to cylindrical shape, I would say. But I would do an SY right here just so that it's all kind of conforming to that one. Okay. All right, and then we're going to get rid of the original one. Press X, faces. Okay. So here we're also going to add our cuts. That's probably good enough right there. Okay. You can always add a subdivision surface even at level 1. It'll smooth that out. All right, just kind of preparing that leg geometry right there before the rig. Okay, I'm going to press forward slash here to bring it back up. And let's, yeah, there's too much of it. Geometry, it's not going to be seen right there. So let's just kind of do SZ right here. Just can kind of scale that a little bit like so. Then bring it down in there, and then we'll just bring this down as well. Okay. All right, just so that there's not a whole lot of excessive polygons that will not be used. Okay, right there. So leg is done. Okay, let's talk about this one now. Forward slash to reveal just this one. And there's all this kind of excessive or intersecting polygons right here. Okay, so first things first is that we need to maybe separate it here. All right, just so that show the body. What's the limit? Let's see. Maybe that's fine right there. Okay, we're not gonna. Maybe right there. Okay. And then we're going to be fixing this one. So I'm going to go to solid mode here. All right, then we have the mirror modifier right here, so we can get rid of that for now. Okay, so let's first separate this thing. So I'm going to select one polygon here. It's going to do Control plus to select everything in there. Okay, so you can see you can't press A to select all because this is all unified. It's joined. All right, so I'm going to press P and then selection. Okay, so we get a separate object. So this is now a separate object right there. Okay, so we'll do the same thing for this one. So see what if you still have all this separated in some what do you call this? Oops. Yeah, file. Then you can just start doing the boolean instead. So press P, separate. So that's a separate file, separate object now. So I'm basically just doing the same thing for this one. All right, that one is selected. Okay. All right, so I'm just growing the selection. You can also do a rectangular select. Okay, but this one just make sure that it's everything is selected right there. All right, so now we have all different objects right here. Okay, we're going to start with this palm area right there, or the hand area. I'm going to add a modifier called boolean. Okay, I'm going to do union and select this finger right here. It becomes part of it. Okay, as soon as we're done with this one, we want to apply boolean so it refreshes all memory and dumps all memory, and we're not going to crash. All right, so I'm going to click apply right here. So boolean is applied. There's the original finger still there. As you can see, there's this other weird looking color right here. That's the other finger that's still there. There it is. Okay, and you can just kind of delete that. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for the rest. There's easier ways to do this. There's plugins called Bool Tools where you can just have one and you keep clicking everything. But so we're just doing this as if we have no add-ons, and this is just kind of basic Blender modifier. Okay, so you always want to select the object you want to keep when you do boolean. So I'm going to select the hand first with one finger, boolean, union, click that, apply. Okay, repeat the process, boolean, union, select, apply, boolean, union, select, apply. And then this one here, we're going to do boolean again, union, we're going to add this. Okay, and then finally we're going to select this, add boolean to this one. Oh, let me see if I got to apply this. I forgot to apply. Select the arm. Okay, I already added boolean. Select this, so it's now one piece, and then apply. Then we can select all the other objects right here. All of these can be deleted. Now we got one object. As you can see, the difference is there is no intersecting geometry. It ends right there as if you... All right. This is not what we would recommend if you want to keep a proper topology, everything quad, but for some simple characters like this, this would work. But there's your kind of issue right there with Boolean, because your shading has kind of changed. You can go to your data tab, normal, click on auto smooth, and you get all that back. Okay, assuming you shade smooth this one. All right, so that's that. One last thing, Control R. Right here. Oh, there's another one. Sorry. There's another one right here that's hiding. Oh, is there? All right, so let's take a look. All right. Is there double geometry here? Is what I want to check. Okay, let's take a look. It looks like selecting every other. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. Let's go with this one. Looks like it's not connected. So let me just go back to before it was. I'm going to click undo here. Hopefully we have enough undos. We should. All right, so even before that, okay, right here. Okay, this is the one where, no, a few more. Okay, right here. So I need to check. So on this one, let me just start kind of cleaning this up. Then we put normals on that one. Okay, on this one right here. Okay, so I'm gonna add those now because it's gonna fuse all that, all right? And your geometry is not gonna be the same as this because we did union, all right? So I'm gonna add those elbows or cuts now for it before the union, okay? So now I'm gonna add Boolean right here, union. Actually, let's get rid of that. Boolean union, okay, and then apply. Then here we can select the hand. So now it's one piece, but we got the cuts already. Okay, so it's good to go. All right, so going in here, let's reveal the rest. Okay, we're gonna add a mirror modifier to this. So X, and then I'm going to select this guy right here as the center of the mirror, and then apply. So that's that. Okay, I'm going to save this one. Okay, and then over here we got our mirror. We're going to apply this also. Okay, and let's take a look. So now we will join all this, but let me see the make sure that there's no mirror. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna select that, Control J, this one and that, Control J. All right, so now we got our character right here ready to go. Another concern, but it might be it might not actually happen. The geometry right here, these are added most likely as a join. They're not part of the original surface right here, so this could deform weirdly later on. Okay, maybe do a knife, cut this shape and extrude it instead would be a better choice if this thing starts behaving differently. Okay, so now let's get ready for the rig. Okay, so rigging this is kind of straightforward, right? Bend the arms for the here, this one, you can't really do bendy legs right here for walking because they're not going to behave kind of like how you would like to if you're actually, this is probably a different color, but you can change those colors later. I'm guessing this is supposed to be black. Let's see. Okay, let's just change those now before we get too deep into. All right, yeah, bendy, it's quite difficult. Those things are for simple kind of, but if you want that knee bend and all that kind of stuff, and you probably want to not use bendy bones for the legs here. All right, so we're going to do bendy bones for this one. Up to you also, Steven, if you want to rig the fingers right here, but I'm just going to use one bendy arm for this demo right here to kind of show the bendy bones working, and then it's going to move the entire hand as if it's spread out like that with the fingers, okay? All right, so let's start. I'm going to be at the front right here. Let's go with our X-ray also right there, so we can see all that stuff. Then we're going to do in object mode, we're going to add our armature. Okay, so it starts off right there, perfect at the base, and we're going to leave it like that for now. Okay, I'm going to go to edit mode, and with this one we're going to simplify it. You can add controllers if you want to. I just want to get through the basic armature, and then you can add all your controllers after. Okay, even I'm not going to do a main body controller right here. I'm just going to move that as the main body. So again, if you want the detailed one, go to the previous lesson. Okay, so let's move that up a little bit here. So that's spine 1. I'm going to do extrude and then Z. We're going to do the kind of the shoulder right here. Okay, and then we're gonna do extrude and then Z. That'll probably be for the neck. Okay, and then extrude Z. That'll be for the head right there. Okay, and we're gonna do for the bendy bone. We're going to Shift A. Okay, so there's that bone right there. We're gonna grab it. So you need a sandwich for a bendy bone. You basically need a bone before, oops, sorry, and a bone after. So there's that first bone. It's sticking just where that part is kind of created. Okay, and then extrude and X right here. We're going to go all the way to the wrist. Okay, and then EX all the way to the hand. So this becomes that part of that hand right there. Okay, and the two bones that will control the bendy bone. All right, so now for this part, we're going to do Shift A again. Okay, then we're going to press G right here, and for the knee, we're going to give it an inclination where the knee will bend, so over there. We're not going to do any foot roll. It'll be a simple one. Okay, right here. And then for the toe roll, right there, maybe too big of a toe area. Okay, before I get too carried away here, again, we need something here. We're going to do Control R. That's going to deform, then it needs deformation. Okay, you need loops. Okay, all right, let's take a look at the other side right here. So I'm going to select this bone. Okay, so we're going to select all that for the front. We're going to go like so. Okay, and then just kind of position that, center that leg. Okay, and then we're going to start naming. Okay, so let's name this. Very important to name everything here. Right, before we name, we're going to parent this. Okay, Control P, keep offset, so it's part of it. Control P, keep offset. Okay, just so that those bones are, when we move the rig, even in post mode. Okay, that's part of it. The leg goes with it. Okay, so let's go back to edit mode and start naming. Okay, so this one, we named this one spine 1. Okay, we call it spine 2. And of course, you want this more flexible, you would have, if I can only spell, you want more bones, that's totally up to you. Okay, so I'm kind of doing kind of like a minimum right here so that our demo is not too long. Then head bone. Okay, then we call this one bendy. Bendy shoulder dot L. Okay, that's the left one. This is the bendy arm dot L. This one is the bendy hand dot L. Okay. All right. So for this one, we're going to need another one here. So I'm going to select this one. I'm going to press E to extrude. Okay. Oops. Undo. Just need that one. We're not going to do the foot controller here. You can just grab that, you know, again, to simplify it. E. I'm going to extrude it. Okay. We're going to do Alt P, clear parent. Move that like so. That will be our knee up vector. We're going to clear this also. Clear parent. That will be our foot controller. All right. So let's start naming. This is the knee controller.L. This is the call this thigh bone, right? Thigh.L. I call the shin bone.L. We're doing the .L so that when you kind of go to the other side, you know, it's all automatically renamed. This is the foot controller.L. Again, we're not creating another foot controller. We're just going to grab this one to move it. Again, that's the toe bone. Toe.L. Okay. And looks like everything we need for that one is done. Okay. So I'm just going to select all that, go to Armature, symmetrize, and you get the other side. Okay. But I'm going to click undo. We're going to set up the bones first in post mode before we do that, so we don't have to do it on the other side. Okay, so that means going into post mode. All right, so let's set this up first. This is the easy part. Okay, so the shin is your IK. The inverse kinematics, okay. Target the armature, because you only have one armature, that's the one. The bone, which is your foot controller, okay. Your pole target, that's the one, okay. The bone is your, where's my knee controller.L, okay. And we gotta move this guy to 90 degrees right here. And we got to do, what else? Chain of 2. Maybe that's a 1, negative 90. And depending on your rig, that could be 180 or 90. So just kind of check. Okay. All right. Let's go to edit mode real quick. I forgot to do something. I need to parent this to the foot. So wherever the foot goes, the knee vector just kind of follows. Let's give it a quick check. And there it is. All right, and then you can independently rotate the toe. Well, not like that, but kind of like that. Okay, so click undo. All right, so that one is done. So let's set up the bendy bone. So now let's select the bone in, let's say in edit mode. Go to the running guy right here. Display as B bone or bendy bone. Okay, and you can still function the same. They just look like rectangle. It looks like Legos. Okay. Let's select. First, we don't want this guy part of the deformation right here. So very important that we take that as a non-deforming bone. We don't want that affecting any parts here. Okay. This one also, you don't want this guy deforming anything. That one you want because we didn't apply an extra bone right there to control, just to kind of simplify the demo, make it quick. All right, so let's go to this one right here, bendy bone. We got to give it segments. I don't know how many cuts I made, so but I'm just guessing 7. All right, so there's that. What else here? We need to So this one, oh yeah, I gotta clear the parent on this one also. Alt P, clear parent, okay? Now we gotta go to post mode and set up our bendy bone, okay? So here, select the arm first. Remember, you need two of these to sandwich the bendy bone. So this one is the hand bone right here. I'm gonna shift click the actual arm, right? So I selected this first, shift click that, okay? And then we need to control shift C, okay? We need to apply a stretch to tracking stretch to, there it is. So what this does is that it now tracks it, so you can see, but we're still missing the rotational property of this. It should be able to control this one with the rotation. So what we need to do is going to this one right here, selecting this, and we need to go below the bendy bone. You have your start handle and end handle. Start handle, end handle right here. So the start, we want to make sure it's absolute. And then which bone? It's the bendy shoulder.L. End handle, absolute. It's going to be the hand, bendy hand.L. Okay. So now if I rotate this, there you go. So now it follows it. You get more, a little bit of control over, you know, what you can do with that bendy hand. All right, so our rig is now done. We just need to go back to edit mode, select all here, and then armature symmetrize, and we got it on both sides. Okay, so one more check, knee up vector. Okay, knee up vector. All right, so we are now ready to add the body to the bone. So in object mode, select the body of your model, shift click any part of the bone to select it. There you go. Okay, so always select the body first and then the bone. Okay, and then control P. You want to armature deform with automatic weights. I know we did lessons before with the lamp and all that, where we are doing with empty groups and all that. You can also do that, except you know, it's a little bit more organic with this process. You can always paint parts where it shouldn't be painted. Okay, so automatic weights. That's it. Let me save this one. Okay, so if I select the body, go to this one now. If I select the bone, go to post mode. There is the bendy bone. There are some wiggly parts of the body. That's where you need to do the painting, or you tell it, hey, don't be moving. Okay, let's do this one. Where's that? Okay, right here. All right, so I'm just kind of exaggerating the movement here just so that I can see where deformation issues might possibly be. Okay, let's go here, select, and this is the one that controls the body, so we can move that back a little bit. That's gotta hurt with that. All right, there's my concern with those Gatorades on. If you push it too much, it might poke out a little. All right, so there it is. Some weird pose with this. All right, so what can we do with this one? Let's check. Let's go to object mode, select this one. Let's go to paint, weight paint right here. And this process is quite simple. It's either you're adding to the influence or subtracting to the influence, or you are mixing the influence, so you get a soft transition between joints. Okay. All right, so this one, you go to vertex group. This is where you select what influences what. So our concern right here would be the, remember the shoulder bone that's supposed to sandwich the bendy bones, we uncheck deform. So it's not part of that deformation. So it has to be the actual arm. Okay, bendy arm L. All right, so this one right here. So you can see red is full influence. Because if I go here on the first one, draw the brush, it's on mix. So we want to make sure we're just subtracting. You click subtract right here. Again, we have a full lesson on this on the site, and then all the stuff we have provided for you regarding the carrot walking, all that kind of stuff. You have all those files, okay? So I'm going with subtract first with a brush, okay? You can press F right here to increase or decrease your influence. So this is to subtract. So basically I'm saying bend the arm, that L bone, I'm subtracting anything I paint from influence. So remember that used to kind of wiggle a little bit, because you can see here it has a slight influence over that area. You don't want to make it where you're hitting part of the arm, because you do want the arm influencing, but you don't want a lot of this area right here to kind of deform it, okay? And you can also do well, maybe I should have moved the pose right there a little bit. So I'm going to decrease this one so I don't end up hitting the arm. All right, that's good right there. Okay, and then it needs more influence around here, I think. Should bend that a little bit. So I'm going to change the brush to add. Okay, and then increase that influence past that one. Okay, so there you go, painting that kind of red. Okay, and if I want a softer transition right there, I can do a mix, lower the strength a little bit, or the weight. Okay, it's kind of, maybe that's too much. Lower the strength a lot also. So it just it deforms it a little bit, but not too much. Okay. All right, let's take a look. We're probably going to do the subtract more than anything. Okay, so I'm going to bring those back to the way they were. Let's take a look. So if I'm going to do bend R right here, bend the arm right. So again, getting rid of the influence of that to the body, so it doesn't wiggle. And if you got more patience than me, you would lower your radius so you don't end up hitting a lot of stuff you're not supposed to. But overall, it's not bad at all. It's the automatic paint weight pretty much did their job. Okay, it's probably not a whole lot of. Let me click on doing that one. Okay. There's probably some geometry right here. Okay, let's see. Thigh bone right here. So this one, if you don't want most of this stuff affected on top right here, you would subtract it. But if you actually like that it's influencing a lot of the bottle at the bottom, and then you leave it alone. Again, this is up to what you think your character should be. The range of motion you're allowing it. Okay. So thigh bone, shin bone probably shouldn't be affecting the heel that much, right? Because you want the foot to be taking care of that. Same thing here on the other side, but I think now you get the point, right? So anything you don't want influence of, you subtract while you're in paint mode. And you can do a better job than me here. I'm just going to through it real quick. Okay. Shin on this one, shin on the other side. I think right here, heel. Kind of important that you don't include the heel. Okay. And there's some, let's see the toes, how they, all right, so how far back does the toe have influence? That's probably not bad, because you don't want that shoe to look very organic. The arm right here, okay, that's good. So overall, it's not bad, not bad at all. Right arm, we did that. Head. Okay, so the head has this really nice soft kind of transition right here. But if you want less influence of the head around the chest area, then you can. If you want to dedicate that to kind of let the neck take care of that. But again, it's still a natural movement, I think, because this is a bottle. Okay. All right. So let's say we are done with that. You have checked everything and everything is in place. Nothing is, Too weird. Okay. That's the head right there. What about the neck? The neck, only probably that would work because it's not a whole lot of influence right here. And it's a softer transition. Okay, so I'm going to go back to object mode here. I'm going to go back to pose mode. And to reset your rig, press A to select the whole thing. Alt-G to reset all the grab or movement. Alt-R for rotation. Of course, Alt-S if you happen to scale, because you can scale. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. There's a very simple rig. You know, if you want to do this properly, you would put that foot controller. It's easier to grab than me, like clicking there, hoping I actually got it. There's that. There's still some influence on this foot. The body's still wiggling here a bit, so you can go back to the weight paint and then fix that. But I think for demoing purpose, this should be, you know, where it should be at this point. Okay? Thank you for watching.